Hey, it's Brain Muffin at the movies, and here we have something where your BS meters ought to be hitting pegged 1,000, 9,000, and 9. May you hit 9,000. So this is a claim. I've actually found a couple of versions of this article. We're going to look at this one first, and then if I can find Screen Rant quickly enough, we'll look at it too. This is from movie-.com, Jeremy Alexander, and I can't see my levels. Star Wars Adam Driver knew Kylo Ren's story arc from the beginning. Bull crap. The state of Star Wars franchise seems pretty shaky, especially after the result of Solo: A Star Wars Story, but there's still some hype for 9. Not a whole lot, you need a comma. It's still a Star Wars after all, and despite some polarized fan reception for The Last Jedi, oh man, this is horrible writing. We can still expect some anticipation in future installments. Yeah, it'll slowly die. Is back to the helm upcoming, which we'll see released later this year. So we expect something satisfying at the very least. Yeah, I didn't find The Force Awakens very satisfying. Why would I expect him to wrap it up? However, let's hope that Star Wars 9 goes beyond just providing a... Okay, so speaking to Deadline, as he continues to garner Oscar buzz for his role in the acclaimed Black Klansman, Kylo Ren actor Adam Driver discussed Star Wars. He teased a little bit on what to expect his character in next installment, revealing they had an idea of what it was all going to be from the start. He said, with Star Wars, I had one piece of information of where it was all going, and that's where it has been in my head for a long time, and things were building towards that. It feels very theatrical, if anything, because in the plays that I've done, a 6-month run on the very last day, you feel really like, oh, now I have a better understanding of what it is that I want to do. I wish we could do this all over again. Working on a play, the questions you can ask yourself are infinite, and that's torturous about film sometimes. You only have one shot to get it right. And you can do a lot of takes, but you're not all going to get back together again and do this. But for something you're doing for 6 years, you still have a chance to go back and make something a bit more articulated. What? But for something you're doing for 6 years, you still have a chance to go back and make something a little bit more articulated. That doesn't make any sense. From here, we can surmise that not... We can't... Wait a minute. From here, we can surmise that not there has been a direction... What? We can surmise that not there has been a direction from where the character would be going, and that as episode 9 would be, strive to get there. What? Okay, okay. So I take this to mean that he... Okay, so I misunderstood the headline. I was thinking he was saying that Adam Driver knew, but apparently he was told. Right. Okay, this is bullcrap. There wasn't a plan from the start. That's 2/3 of the problem. All right, so let's I'm going to pause and stop recording, and we're going to pick it up with Screen Rant. All right, so this is more or less the same article from Screen Rant. This is Chris Agger. This is what I had on my tablet. I'm still calling BS on this because they didn't have a plan. This is why Ruin Johnson was allowed to write the crap that he wrote. So this is the day before Adam Driver reveals he's known from Kylo Ren's story was heading, and used that information as a guide as he acts in Star Wars Episode 9. While the franchise 2 spin-off movies indicate otherwise, Lucasfilm does try to give their directors some semblance of creative freedom while working on their movies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if they get too creative, they get fired. Gareth Edwards and the Wright brothers, whatever their name is, was pleasantly surprised when the studio didn't supply him a list of prearranged plot points for Last Jedi. So, which is it? Is there a plan or no plan? Tell us we have a plan. Jar Jar Abrams stated his only mandate for Force Awakens was to craft a movie that would delight viewers, which it failed to do. And Rian Johnson was pleasantly surprised when the studio didn't supply him with, some viewers have criticized Lucasfilm. Of course, Lucasfilm brass needs to sign off on story choices, but that essentially gave Adams, Speaking with Deadline, all right, we're back from technical difficulties. I'm not sure what happened, but everything stopped recording. So let's get to here. So we're speaking with Deadline as he continues to garner awards buzz. Okay, yeah, whatever. At a Kylo Ren game that's been in place for years. Well, of course, it's got to end, I guess. That part, maybe. I don't really buy it. I had one piece of information of where it was all going, and that's where it's been in my mind for a long time. There's been building towards it. Feels okay. So, but something that you've been doing for 6 years, you still have a chance to go back and make something a little bit more articulated. Well, you can end it, but you can't go back to the beginning. And we can't go back to The Force Awakens and redo it. So doesn't reveal who exactly told him this piece of information, but it's still a fascinating bit to analyze. It's worth remembering Abrams wrote initial drafts for 8 and 9, so it's quite possible during his initial meetings with Driver about the Kylo role. So they, really? So that middle piece about killing your mother and all that stuff didn't keep anything from out his vision for how much of it remains in place is another matter. Last year, they really suggested Johnson didn't keep anything from the original draft. She's not 100% sure, meaning that there's a chance the overtime worked on. Okay. Just kept this information in his head for a while. So, okay. So basically what it feels like to me, let's just take this with a grain of salt and let's take it as accurate. I need to talk the top of the microphone, not the side of it. So basically what I'm hearing, what I'm reading, my understanding here is that Adam Driver has had his own headcanon. Maybe Jar Jar gave him something at the beginning, and he's kept that headcanon for Kylo Ren and used it for inspiration. Back at the helm, there's a good chance he'll try to incorporate these various ideas should they fit. He's already feeling a deleted subplot by including old footage from the previous two movies. Reviving a deleted, of course it isn't. Anyway, who cares? I have never been so unenthusiastic about a Star Wars movie in my life, and I was there since the start. So that's pretty sad. So I'm glad, Adam, you had your own headcanon for Kylo Ren, and hopefully it makes sense. And maybe it'd be nice to know a little bit more, or write it down somewhere and give it to somebody so we know it's sealed from a few years ago. And then when we know where everything goes, we can see if you were right. All right. Thanks, everybody. What do you think? You think this is just garbage? It's a Screen Rant, and it's whatever the other one was, movie, whatever. All right, bye. I don't give a crap. Shit, smaller. 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, this is Movie Dash, but the other one is Screen Rant. You think it's the same article or very similar? Well, this is Jeremy Alexander. Screen Rant has one with more or less the same title. Chris Agar, I guess. Agar. Oh, it's a G, not a C. In movie news. This is from January 14th. This is January 15th. Maybe have some copycatness. We can. We'll see. Let's just do this one, and maybe we pause, and I find the other one. All right. 3, 2, 1.